Hey y'all, it's Mila and Danielle Treasure coming to you today from my little mini office in the kitchen. So I'm coming today to talk a little bit about how I do my lesson plan. So many of you know that I am a teacher, and planning lessons is something that we are required to do in our profession. It's expected of us. We're supposed to do it every week. Sometimes teachers plan units that expand maybe a couple of weeks or longer. And oftentimes you'll find that teachers collaborate with other teachers in their subject areas or across the subject areas to plan lessons. So I just wanted to let you all in, just give you a little sneak peek of what I do. Nothing fancy. So pretty much you need to start off with your basic tools of the trade. You're going to need a lesson plan book. And here's mine. It's all beat up because I use it, and I keep it kind of packed with papers that I use, and I can find them. It's like organized chaos for me. And then pretty much what you do is how I do it. Now this is how I do it. This is may not be how all teachers do it, because you have to remember elementary school, high school are not like middle school. There are some similarities, but there are many differences. So, okay, so what I do is sketch it out for the week. Stuff falling. I sketch my plans out for the week, and when I do that, I include what are called the grade level expectations, or GLEs, along with my objectives for the subject and the skills that the students will be practicing. And I just kind of write them over here in this margin that says objectives. And I don't know if you can see that, but pretty much that is what that says. Now, where do I get these grade level expectations and the objectives? They come from your school district. Your employer will have grade level expectations. We call them GLEs for short. Your school will have the GLEs for your subject that you teach and for your grades. So these are some of the GLEs for English, for writing GLEs. And then I have GLEs for communication arts for all the grade levels in here. So that way I can kind of take a look at the skill that I want to instruct, what the students learned last year, and then what they're expected to do this year to prepare them for next year. And it's just a quick way to check to make sure that you're aligning those skills well in a sensible, logical manner. So those are the tools that you need. You're also going to need anything else that will help you to assess your students, like how they're progressing. You know, if they definitely are proving that they're learning the skills, that they can demonstrate knowledge, and they can do that at a certain percentage rate. So you might want to have something that's called like a rubric, and this is a rubric that I'm considering using for the novel Call of the Wild, and I'm anticipating us reading this novel in January. A rubric is just a fancy word for looking at how to grade the students to see if the students have learned certain skills at a certain percentage or at a certain level. Have they mastered those skills? Are they proficient in those particular skill sets and capabilities? So this one looks at, it judges them based on whether they are advanced, proficient, basic, or minimal. And then it looks at these areas. You know, how well they know the characters, how well they know the vocabulary, the setting. Do they apply reading strategies when they read? The literacy concept. Can they identify the theme? Can they summarize the story and the conventions and so forth? Or remember back in the day when we did book reports? Well, book reports are all called different things nowadays. And so, yeah, that's one way that teachers use to, with us, to see that we knew the book we read. We wrote a book report. Nowadays, students do projects, they do book logs, reading logs. They do book recommendations, book talks, a lot of different things. And you just use a rubric like this to help you assess how well the student was able to prove that they did read the book and they knew the book. They learned the book. So yeah, these are all the different tools that I use when I'm planning my lessons. And so the students are reading two things in my class. They're reading an independent novel for not necessarily just for recreation, but it's an assignment, so it's their homework. They read it in class for about 15 minutes most days of the week, maybe not all days of the week, but they are to read it at home all days of the week. And then last week I had them to assess themselves on how well they are reading. So this was a rubric that I borrowed from a 6th grade teacher, and it's giving the students an opportunity to grade themselves on how well they are reading that book independently. So they can grade themselves as outstanding, as a wow, as a so-so, and as a oh no. Okay, and then you have your criteria that the student has to meet in order to fit that category. And they have to be honest. You tell them, be honest, because I can tell. Based on that reading log you're going to turn in, I can tell which one you really fit in. So be honest the first time. And usually they are. You'll have maybe a couple who try to slick by, but the majority of them are honest. So yeah, those are some of the tools. This is just an assignment that they're going to do with the play that we're reading. You also want to use your teacher's manual, because the teacher's manual does have the objectives in it that covers what the students are supposed to be learning, what the teacher should be focusing on that particular story. So we are reading A Christmas Carol. You all are familiar with that story, Ebenezer Scrooge, right? Okay, so that's what we're reading, and some of the objectives are, the students are to look at the dialogue. They're supposed to compare and contrast Scrooge before he saw a ghost and after he saw a ghost, to notice any changes in his personality and his thoughts and ideas. Notice how he interacts with other characters through dialogue. Look for metaphors, similes, figurative language that is used in the play. Be able to identify the setting and all of those things. So yeah, be able to critically analyze the use of vocabulary, and be able to explain motivations and stuff like that, the motives of the characters. If you really want to be able to, I guess, guide your students well and just kind of be at ease with what you're teaching, it's going to take some time to really build a lesson. But the more you do it, it's just like riding a bicycle. The more you do it, the better you get at it. Maybe the less time involved it takes. But as a teacher, I'm always thinking about how to present lessons, how to have activities to try to make the lessons more interactive so the students are engaged and on task, so that they are either, they're doing something, they're building something, they're constructing something, they're making something. So yeah, just wanted to share that with you all. Okay, so this has been Linda and Your Treasure. Remember, rate my videos thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe. Bye, be blessed. So lesson planning, y'all, it's kind of, I don't know, it takes a lot of time. If you really want to